All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We missed one Monday and we're all discombobulated.
It doesn't take long.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are excited to be with you again another Monday for Books, Business, and Brunch. And I had my water. Oh, let me stretch for my water. I have my water. That's my brunch. And Leslie has her tea. And if you're joining us for the first time, my name is Joan T. Randall. I am the founder of Victorious You Press, award-winning author and publisher, and we help destiny leaders to write and publish their best-selling books so that they can build extra revenue stream and create legacies. And we love to do that. So before I continue, I'm going to turn it over to my co-host so she can introduce herself, and then we'll get started in today's conversation.
All right. I am Leslie Cottrell, and I am a publisher, author, coach, and best-selling author. And we are excited to be here today because we are freshly back from, well, maybe not freshly, but not too long ago, back from Denver, Colorado, at a publishing conference that is a huge affair, vibrant, full of people who think like we do. And I tell you, it got us charged up and reinvigorated. And so we are excited to be with you all today and talk a little bit about that and some other super exciting things.
Yes, we are. And to Leslie's point, we had such a phenomenal time that we wanted to come back and share some things about the conference and some big learnings. And then we also want to share with you some of the things that we are going to be doing as a company moving forward. So let us get into it, right? So one of the things just so you know, IBPA means Independent Book Publishers Association. And every year they have a conference that they call their university. And it truly is a university because there is everyone from every genre of the publishing landscape that is there. So whether they're writers, publishers, editors, designers, and this year we had movie scouts and movie producers, which was pretty awesome. I actually ended up pitching my book, but more on that another day, right? But the whole landscape of publishing was there. It was phenomenal. But I wanted to bring something back to you because there are publishing and publishers, and then there are publishers, right? And if you are not in the space, where publishing is concerned, you might be calling yourself a publisher and you are not a publisher, right? What we have found is that someone writes a book, uploads the book on Amazon, and have a great experience in writing their book, uploading it on Amazon, and publishing it themselves. And because the experience was great for them, they decided that they are going to help other people, which is amazing. But are you truly a publisher? You might not be, because there are certain elements that comes with the word publishing. And if you are not providing that to a client, you cannot call yourself a publisher. Right, Leslie?
That's right.
That's right, right? So what the IBPA did, because their role is to make sure that the standards of publishing as we know it in the United States is followed, for lack of a better word. Now, are they the police? No, they're not the publishing police. And you can do whatever you choose to do in your own sphere of work and influence and help, right? But calling yourself a publisher also comes with a level of understanding and quality control. Quality control. And the reason why we want to share this with you is that there are a lot of litigious people out there, right? And you may, with all the best of intentions, and because you have had amazing success with you self publishing and the fact that you want to help someone else, right? But they might not feel as great as you. Good afternoon, Minister Hope. Good afternoon, Angela. But they may not feel as great. Hey, Michelle Reed, nice to see you. Hey, Dr. Laxley, thank you for joining. But they may not feel that you did their book justice. They can come after you. They can come after you. So as a publisher, you want to make sure, if you're calling yourselves a publisher and if you are providing a service to someone who is paying you to publish their book, you have to know what you're doing. You have to have contracts in place or agreements in place so the person that you're doing this for has a complete understanding that you are going to do A, B, C, D, and that the expectation is A, B, C, D. All right. So the Independent Book Publishing Association came up with a wheel, right? Models, I should say, publishing models to identify the different areas of publishing and what it means. And Leslie and I felt, hey, Apostle, nice to see you. Leslie and I felt that we wanted to share this with you because at the end of the day, right, we want to educate. That is what Victorious You Press is all about, right, Leslie? We want to educate the people that we are called to serve, right? This is a gift. Victorious You Press is a gift given to us from God. It is not mine. It is not mine. I am only stewarding this gift. It does not belong to me. I may say founder, but God is my CEO. I report to him, right? So we want to make sure that what we are sharing with you is intentional, is clear, is factual, and that there is no hidden agenda where we are concerned. So we brought a lot of information back from IBPA that we want to share with you. Great to see you, Elder. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. Hey, Enid. Nice to see you. Oh my God, my best friend from school. Nice to see you. So without further ado, I am going to share my screen and I'm going to show you the different types of publishing. Are we ready, Leslie?
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. So bringing to the stage the publishing map. It is called the IBPA Guide to Publishing Models Author Pathways, which is the publishing map. Now, you may not know this, right? But there are 3, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 different publisher type businesses. All right. You may be seeing this for the very first time, but again, we want to educate you. So I want to start with the first publishing model, which is independent publishers and small presses, the one in pink. And what I did was I just want to explain to you what the definition of independent publisher and small press is, because for a long time, I call myself an independent publisher, right? But then I had to say, wait a minute, let me pull back a little bit to see if the services that I'm offering, is it truly an independent publishing service, right? So this is who independent publishers are. All right, let's get here because I got some work for you. So they vary in size and in mission, right? But they are similar to a corporate publisher in that they publish books for a general trade audience. What is a general trade audience? Mostly people who buy books to read. That's general trade, right? But they also get royalties from the books. I want you to hear me. They get royalties from the book. So what does that mean? It means that they fund a part of your publishing with the intent that your royalties, they get a percentage of your royalties, right? We don't do that. We don't want any of your royalties, right? But also as an independent publisher, they have to make sure that there is a level of distribution, because they're invested in your book in a way that they have to get some of your royalties. So because they have to get some of your royalties, hey Rachel, nice to see you. Hey cousin Faye, because they have to get some of your royalties, they have to help you distribute your books. Why? Because the more books that are distributed and sold, the more royalties they can get from you. That's what an independent publisher and small press is. The next one is author publisher. What is the author publisher? Author publisher are people who publish, self-publish. That's really what it is. You're not helping anybody else publish. You're truly just publishing your book for yourself and multiple books, nobody else. So it's your imprint. Every ISBN number that you buy, you're buying it through your imprint, not your name, but whatever your business name is. That's what a author publisher is. The other one is hybrid publisher. What is a hybrid publisher? Well, they are similar to a indie publisher, but they also pay for some of the cost again and then take royalties. So the hybrid publisher, say $6,000 is the cost to publish your book. A hybrid publisher will say, I'm going to pay $3,000. All you have to do is pay the other $3,000, and then I'm going to take 40% of your royalty, and I'm going to give you 60% of the royalty. So again, the hybrid publisher is very similar to the independent publisher. So then Leslie and I had to look at ourselves again. Well, again, truly, we're not taking anybody's royalties, and we don't want to take anybody royalty, right? But again, just like the independent publisher, the hybrid publisher is ensuring that your book is being distributed to bookstores and to other places. So what the hybrid publisher do, they seek out bookstores that will carry your titles, right? So they have a sales team, and the sales team is making sure that they are inquiring and seeking out and selling, right, your book to bookstores, again, to ensure that your book is being sold so that they can also get the royalties. And whether it's the independent publisher or the hybrid publisher, bear in mind that some of these publishers will take X amount of your royalties for anywhere from 3 to 5 years, right? So you're talking about a long stretch of time. Another a con to the independent and the publish and the hybrid is that most often they buy book in bulk and keep it, right? Where they are. Now, if they have a distributor, they don't have to keep the books at their homes or in their garage. The distributors will keep it, but guess what? They have to pay the distributor to keep your books and to ship your books. So you're talking about absorbing an expense. And here's another thing about books being distributed and being sold by the hybrid publisher. If they get a book into a bookstore, it may be a 30-day, 60-day, or a 90-day deal, right? If they want to sell, if the agreement is that we're going to sell 30 books in 90 days, and the 90 days is gone and your 30 books aren't sold, guess what? They are returning the books, and you take a hit as the author for the book. So we're like, whoa, we had to make a decision on how we identify who we are in the publishing world. And that is why I'm saying a lot of people out here are operating under the guise of publisher, and they truly are not publishers.
Right.
All right. So then I want to talk to you about university presses. What are university presses? These people typically publish scholarly books intended for a small audience. So university presses is very genre driven, and they usually publish their audience is specialists or academians, right? People who are looking for textbooks. That's what university presses are. And then there is the higher education and academic publishers. And again, journals, textbooks, academic work, online, digital, subscription. Those are the things that they publish. So I'm telling you, there's a place for everybody, right, in this publisher world. And then there is association, society, and I make sure, association, society, and nonprofit publishers. They even have people that are truly nonprofit publishers, or a specific association or a specific society that they publish their own books, right? So they act, here's the thing, they act as a division of a larger publisher. So for example, one of the big five is Simon and Schuster, but Simon and Schuster might have another smaller press, right, that publishes under their label, under their heading, but they're independent. So these are association and society, and what they publish are directly related to the work of the umbrella organization, the big five. So there's a lot of smaller publishing companies that roll up under the big five, which we're going to talk about next, right? And what they do and who they are. Now, the big five falls under corporate trade publishers. And the big five are Hachette Publisher, HarperCollins Publisher, Macmillan Publisher, Penguin Random House Publisher, and Simon and Schuster. These are the giant in traditional publishers. Giants. They maybe publish, I don't know, maybe 12 books a year, if that much, because it takes so long. But whenever you get a deal with a traditional publisher, it is never one book. It's either 2 or 3 book deals, sometimes more. They pay you up front, right? They invest in your book, but there are criteria for them to invest in your book. Number one, you have to have a person that is pitching the book to them, right? So you have to have an agent. Number two, you have to come already with a huge social media following or a huge email list. They're not taking you, if no matter how great your book is, you have to come with an audience. Why? Because that is going to guarantee that they can sell the thousands of books that they want to sell to make their return on the investment in you. Now, these corporate trade publishers and these huge, like a lot of people want, oh, I want to be on the New York bestselling, the New York Times bestselling list. Well, most often the New York Times bestselling list is really derived from these traditional publishers. Why? Because they're selling thousands and thousands of books. Thousands of books. And so when you walk into a Barnes and Noble and you see all these books with display on the front, like the whole front is all these books, most often those books are published by the traditional publishing companies, the big five, because they get premium space in the bookstores. They do. All right. But here's the thing. The royalties are not yours at all. You already get paid up front. So the royalties are not yours. And secondly, if they decide to use your book and turn it into a movie, you may not get a dime from that movie unless you sign a contract ahead of time that if the book becomes a movie, then you want X amount of the royalties from the movie. And here is the thing, you can't ask for 50% of the royalty from a movie because your book will never be turned into a movie. They're going to tell you you may be able to get 10%, 15% because everything else belongs to them. That's the difference with the traditional publisher. And then last but not least is this purple circle, service provider. Who are the service providers? Well, they are the entity that offers a variety of services in exchange for upfront payment, but are not intending to take any of your royalties. We're not going to take your royalties. So we're offering you everything: editing, formatting, help you with the marketing, help you getting the bestsellers list, all of that stuff, give you direction on how you can get your books into the Barnes and Noble, right? How you can get your book into local bookstores. But we do not do fulfillment and we do not take your royalties. So we are not going to order a bunch of books for you and distribute it, and we're not going to take a dime from your royalty. That's the difference. And so that is what Victorious You Press is. We are a service provider. We are a boutique publishing provider that has your money in mind, your anything that you know that you have to do to make a return on your investment. That is who we are. We are empowering you to write your story, and we are going to help you turn that story into a business. Hi, Rachel. Nice to see you. That is who we are. We're going to help you, but we're not going to just stop there, right? And Leslie's going to talk about that, those three things that we're going to do. We are not going to just stop at publishing your book. We are going to show you that publishing your book is the stairway to a ministry, a mission, or a business. A ministry, a mission, or the marketplace. That's the three places that you can think about as you're thinking about your book. How does my book turn into my mission? How does my book turn into my ministry? How does my book turn into a marketplace business? So that's who we are, right? We're a boutique publishing entity that provides a service, A, B, and C, and Leslie's going to talk about the service. So I hope this helps you. We needed to get this to you because, again, be wary of the people who are out there just randomly calling themselves publishers. They may not be publishers. They may simply just be service providers. And so we wanted to share this with you and share this broadcast out, put this broadcast in your group so that people are educated about this whole publishing space. You can't just decide that I'm going to self-publish a book, put it on Amazon, and because you are able to self-publish and put it on Amazon, you're now calling yourself a publisher, because that is not accurate. Right. So Leslie, take it away.
Okay. You pretty much said it all already, Joan, but a couple things that came to mind while you were speaking. We have made and are making a very intentional choice to set our business up the way it is configured. And honestly, I would say if you weren't really self-affirmed in your goals and your mission as someone in the publishing industry, going to the IBPA University could have sucked you down into a rabbit hole, because most of the publishers there offer distributorship. And it sounds kind of sexy. It sounds kind of jazzy, but we intentionally do not do that. And the reason why is that we have set ourselves up at Victoria's Shoe Press to, in our boutique services, to be able to really walk with you through that publishing process. Many times you may have never published before. This is no man's land if you've never published before. And so we help walk you through that journey from the beginning to the end when your book is published, but we do not stop there. The big difference with Victoria's U Press is that we then help you make that next step up the ladder. How do you take that book and keep it alive? You keep it alive by building multiple streams of revenue from that book. And it can be a myriad of different ways. Joan mentioned some of them. You can become a speaker through the publishing of your book. You can create journals, workbooks, devotional, online courses, coaching businesses of every genre that you can imagine. So as of this date, Victoria's Shoe Press has taken 42 authors along that journey to create a business from their book. So think about that for a minute. How exciting is that to know that that knowledge is there for you through the teaching that we provide at Victoria's Shoe Press to help you make that transition. So many people have this goal. I want to be a published author. And it's a great goal. It's a wonderful thing to be. I can tell you, there's nothing that feels quite like being a published author, unless it's a best-selling published author. That's even better. But then what? Are we really helping you if we stop there and now we go on to the next person that we're going to publish? I don't think so. The legacy is in what you do with your book after it's published.
There you go.
That's why we are here to do what we do, how we do it. If we were involved in distributorship, we would A, have to be taking some of your royalties, which we don't want to do. And B, we would be a little bit diluted in our business model. Our focus really is on that business support. And that's why we've made a commitment to publish the way we publish and to call ourselves boutique publishing services providers.
Yep. Perfect. So with that said, we have about maybe one more minute. We had a whole lot more to share with you, but we'll leave it for next week. But the three things that we're going to be focusing on, Victoria's U Press, there's three pillars that we're focusing on. Pillar number one is author coaching. So that is going to become a huge deal with us. Why? Because when we polled our audience, people say, I have not yet written a book because I do not know where to start. So author coaching is going to become ginormous for us. Why? We don't want people to pay for their publishing and their book is not yet written. So the goal is to get them to write the book, because you can't pay for publishing and the book isn't written, because then it's put in the cart before the horse, right? Exactly. So we're going to provide this specialized author coaching for you that's certified. Leslie is certified and she continues to get certification in this area of her specialty, right? So that's one area. The second area is we're going to help you become best-selling authors, because that's going to still be the main part of our job, right? Publishing. We love it, right? But our publishing services are unique to the individual, because we're going to spend time with you. We're going to talk to you about the marketing. We're going to be talking to you about the best-selling strategy. We're talking to you about what it is that the book represents. And the third thing that is going to be huge for us is the author accelerator. And what is the author accelerator? That is books to business and beyond. Why can we do it? We are specialists there. Why? Because that's how Victoria's U Press was born, right? This is us. We did it. We went from one book to a company that has, how many of us, Leslie? 10 of us is works for Victorious You Press, right? So it just goes to show that we have walked through this model of books to business and beyond. And we want to show others how to use their one book or their one chapter in an anthology and create a whole business model. And here's the thing about a business model. Do I know about business model? Yes, I do, because I'm the co-executive director of the Boost Pad, where we help early stages entrepreneurs to build their business foundationally so that they can grow and scale. So bringing that over into the Author Accelerator, Books to Business and Beyond, you cannot lose. You can't lose. That's how you go from a book to a business, or a book to a mission, or a book to a ministry, because some people may just not want to have a business, but they have something that they're passionate about. It may be a nonprofit that you want to start, right? You want to help feed kids in Africa, you want to help feed kids in Jamaica, you want to help do all of this stuff. But when you have a book and you go to talk to someone or talk on stage, your book is the credibility. It lends this level of credibility to who you are and to what you do, right? So that's why the book is so important no matter what you do, right? So I think that's all I have for today. There's so much more. There's so much more that we are doing behind the scenes with wrote by me. So we will leave that for next week. It's too much because we're already 3 minutes over, but we wanted to share the excitement, and we wanted to show you firsthand that not all publishers who claim that they're publishers are truly giving you the best. They might be charging you less. But listen, a lot of people like to skim, right? And so somebody might say, oh yeah, I've put my book on Amazon and I've published my book. I was a bestseller. Yeah, it's easy to become a bestseller. Yeah, it is. You just have to know when to publish it, the categories, and how many people going to download it. That's easy. That's not a big deal, right? What's most important is the hot new release. Believe it or not, that's even more important than the best-selling part of it. And award winning, then now you're talking about something, a whole different thing. That's a whole different element, because now hundreds of strangers are reading your book, and then they're going to see if your book really stands the test of time, right? But a lot of us who are self-publishing and calling ourselves publisher, our book may not even pass the quality control or quality assurance that it takes to go into a Barnes and Noble. Right? So again, there are books and then there are books. There are publishers and then there are publishers. But we are able to take from all of these things that we have learned over the years, right, and give you the best quality product. It may not be cheap as the others, but you're getting quality. All right. That is all I have for today. I hope this gave you some insight into this world of publishing. I am excited that we are a part of IBPA. Both Leslie and I are paid members of IBPA, and we're going to continue to bring you the best of training and knowledge and all things writing, publishing, and business. Leslie, you close out, my darling.
Okay, we've got to go because we're way over, but I want to say you absolutely do not want to miss next week's broadcast. If you are already an author with Victorious You Press, you got to watch. If you are in the process right now, this is huge. You want to watch. And if you're thinking of publishing in the near future, you do not want to miss next week. It is so cool. We are so excited and we can't wait to share it with you. I hope you all have a great week and keep writing.
Yay. Bye, guys. Thank you
Bye.
for joining us. Hey, Charmaine, I see you. Hey, Mr. Larry Easington, I see you. Bye, guys. Take care.